to our Winter Reading Adventure 2023-2024 overview. I'm so glad you all could join us today. I'm Tina Mraz. If you don't know, I'm the Early Literacy Outreach Coordinator for the library, and joining me today as co-presenter is Marissa Rodriguez, and she's the School Age and Teen Services Outreach Coordinator. That is such a mouthful. So today's training is going to be recorded and posted on the Winter Reading Adventure SharePoint page. Just a couple of housekeeping items. Please remain muted unless asked to unmute, and add any questions to the chat and we will answer them at the end of each segment of the presentation. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So today we're going to cover a brief overview of the Winter Reading Adventure history. We'll go over some of last year's statistics, take a look at this year's challenge or adventure, as we're calling it, just to make it consistent. We'll talk about the SharePoint and LibGuide pages. Then we'll have a little section, a break for questions for that portion of the training. And then we're going to go into Beanstack and just do a review of some of the things that you would frequently come across. We'll do a deeper dive into the SharePoint and LibGuide, and then we'll have another segment for questions. So winter reading before 2020 was just hodgepodge. Some branches did it, some branches didn't, and it wasn't even necessarily the same challenge. So our first system-wide adventure was in 2020, and it was just a test run for Beanstack. We had just bought the program. The first official winter reading adventure was in 2021, and it was only in the month of January. We awarded no prizes, and marketing produced reading logs that were on demand. And then last year was the first 2-month winter reading adventure. They covered December and January. It's the first time we offered prizes for every finisher. And again, marketing produced on-demand reading logs. So last year we had 1,080 youth finishers and 463 adult finishers. And that was a significant increase from the previous years, but if you look at the dates for each year, they're not consistent. So it's kind of hard to say how much of an increase we had, but it looks like we're moving in the right direction, and we really want to see that trend continue.
All right, so how will Winter Reading Adventure 23-24 work? It will run from December 1st, 2023 through January 31st, 2024. Youth and adult participants will have similar programs, just like we did in summer reading. The main focus on winter reading is reading or listening to books, but as in summer reading, there's a few activities that participants can complete as well. So in order to reach their goals, participants can log books, enter time read, or complete activities. And that leads us to what are the goals for each age group. So birth through second grade will we'll need to make 15 badges. So that can be 15 books read, 20-minute reading sessions, or any of the 5 activities. For third through sixth grade, it is 10 total badges and 20 minutes read for them as well. And then teens and adults are structured the same, so they can log books, 30 minutes reading sessions, and activities. We have some fun events coming up that go along with winter reading. So we're kicking off winter reading with a teen laser tag night at Chantilly Regional. The next weekend, December 9th, we're going to have Amina Lukman-Dawson at Chantilly Regional. January 20th, we have an adult program, which is Adorable Signs at Burke Center Library. January 26th, we're kind of starting to close out our winter reading festivities with Teen Laser Tag at Lorton Library. And then January 30th will be Virtual Artist Paradise, which is a poetry workshop. Something else that we're running in conjunction with winter reading is tiny canvases. We ran that last year as well. Tiny canvases will run from January 13th through February 29th, and kits are available at all of the branches listed on the screen. I won't read them, but they're there. And they're also available and listed on the SharePoint page, which is currently not live, but I plan on making that live in the next couple of weeks. So the way Tiny Canvases work is participants can go to any hosting branch and pick up a kit. The kit contains a small 4x4 canvas, paints, and paintbrushes. Then they take it home and paint their painting and then upload it through a forum on our LibGuide page. And then everybody who enters a painting will be entered to win a raffle. So we'll have one for each age group, which are school age, teens, and adults, and they'll win a sketchbook and a pencil set. So now we'll start to get into some of the materials that we have available for Winter Reading Adventure. Everything that we have for winter reading will be print on demand. So the things that we have are paper reading logs. We have birth through sixth grade combined onto one reading log, a teen reading log, and an adult reading log. We also have a half sheet flyer and posters. And here is what they look like. So this is our birth through sixth grade winter reading adventure log. This is very similar to how it was structured for summer reading, but you can see the finish line is here with 10 badges for third through sixth grade, and then 15 badges for our youngest group, birth through second grade. We have the activities on the back, so any or all of these activities can count towards the total badges. And here we have teens. And this is very similar to how the adult reading log is structured. The only difference is that some of these activities are slightly different. And this is the poster print on demand as well as the half sheet. And all of these materials can be found on the Winter Reading Adventure SharePoint page, which I will show you later in the presentation. We also have the staff winter reading information sheet, and this is really great to have printed out and maybe keep at the info desk as a quick cheat sheet. This as well is located on the SharePoint page, so I can show you how to find that. We also have the offline reader data entry sheet available on the SharePoint page. We will get into entering offline readers in Beanstalk later in the presentation. This is our lovely coupon sheet. And something important to note is that unlike summer reading, the winter reading and I'm sorry, the adult, I'm like looking at the chat at the same time. The all of the coupons are on the same sheet. So there's not a separate youth booklet. It's youth and adults all on one sheet. The coupon sheets have gone out to branches today. Thank you so much to Jen Johnson for doing that. And I saw she said they were addressed to ABMs. And if your branch does not currently have an ABM, they'll be addressed to your branch manager. So please keep an eye out for those. Please also monitor your supply, and if you think you're going to start to need more coupon sheets, you can submit a request through our Power app. And here's a closer look at what the coupons actually are. So we have a free scoop of ice cream from Brester's Real Ice Cream. We have free admission to your nearest rec center, $2 off books for Friends of the Library, free admission for ages 6 and up at Mount Vernon, Scrawl books, and a free small Frosty from Wendy's. We were also able to partner with Washington Wizards to get additional prizes. So they are giving us 250 prize packs total that they would like to go to youth. We will send them out 13 packs to regional branches and 10 packs to communities. and you can raffle those off or handle that how you would like to in your branch. They're also giving us 25 two-ticket sets to a game, and they would also like that to go to youth participants, youth finishers. We will handle that raffle since it's so few. So we'll do the raffle and then we'll work with the winners to see which branch they would like to pick up the tickets, and we will work on getting those out to the branch.
Okay, so next we have some important dates that are coming up for winter reading. So December 1st, the program starts, and there will be a pre-registration date so people can sign up online. I believe it's the 28th of November. December 9th is the Nina Luckman Dawson event at Chantilly. On the 13th of January, the Tiny Canvases contest begins. On the 31st of January, winter reading adventure ends. But if people come in after that, feel free to go ahead and give them their coupon sheets like we do with summer reading. And on February 29th, Tiny Canvases, that contest ends. So all of the information that the public needs to know about the program can be found on our Reading Challenges LibGuide, and details specific to staff as well as links to the Reading Challenges LibGuide can be found on the Reading Challenges SharePoint page. And Marissa will go into that in more detail in the next section of our presentation.
Now we are to our first question break. I see Deb asked in the chat the difference between the raffle versus giveaway options on Wizard tickets. So they're giving us 25 two-ticket sets total. Those are the only tickets that we're getting. So the program department will handle that raffle. The other pack, the other prize option is a pack that has like a reading light, a bookmark, and a little bag. And those will go to the branches. You can raffle them at your branch, or handle that how you would like to. Does that answer your question, Deb?
Yes, so there are two different raffles. So one you're going to be handling at your branch, which is the prize pack, and then the tickets we're going to be taking care of. Okay, thank you, Jennifer, for saying how awesome the reading logs are. She did a great job while Deb is typing. And Jennifer also asked if staff is eligible for participation in the tiny canvases or reading or the reading adventure. And I don't believe you are. This time we don't have a staff challenge for winter reading adventure, unfortunately. We'll have to think about that for next year. And so how late should we record finishers after the 31st? When I was in the branch, I usually gave them like a week or two. I mean, it's not a hardship to if someone comes in like 2 weeks later to just give them their logs. So there's no hard and fast deadline, just whatever you feel comfortable with at your branch. But I would definitely say at least a week. What do you think, Marissa?
Yeah, I think a week or two sounds reasonable. I see Anne asked, do we not need to return old coupons then?
Yeah, I would just keep a small supply just in case someone comes in and then after like a week or two, you send that back to us.
And Amado, I saw that your hand was raised, but that you're typing now, so we will wait for your question, or you can unmute and ask.
Yeah, I'll just unmute. Thanks.
Okay.
Just clarification question. The coupon sheet, is that the same for both the adults
Yes.
and the youth and children?
Yep, it is the same for both. So good question. We're just handing out that, and all of the coupons are valid for both youth and adults, all on the same sheet.
Which should make
Oh,
it a
okay,
lot
thanks.
easier for you guys. Yeah, please share that with your staff. There's only one coupon sheet.
Do you have any other questions? All right, we can move on and oh, I see another question. Do you want us to keep count on how many sheets we give out?
Yeah, because we'll have the information from Beanstack with the number
Mhm,
of finishers, so I don't see why
mhm.
there would be a need for you to count the sheets. So don't worry about that.
Any more questions? And Tina, it is no longer allowing me to advance the slides on my end.
Okay. Oh no, that's so weird. So it looks like we're on the Beanstack. Oh, you're moving it. Is your screen just low?
Yeah, I don't, is everybody else seeing the Washington Wizards prizes or are you seeing
No,
something
you're
else?
on Beanstack administrative features, but I got it to Beanstack, so I'll go ahead and advance it for you.
I think it might be frozen for all of us, Tina.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let me stop sharing and then I will share again.
Perfect. Oh, you were probably like, why is Marissa continuing to click this screen? I'm
I'm
sorry.
like looking at everything. It just keeps going. I'm like, what's happening? All right, so let's see here. All right, does everyone see the Beanstack screen now?
Yes.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, so now we're getting into the Beanstalk, SharePoint, and LibGuide deep dive portion of our presentation. But first, a quick overview of Beanstalk. Beanstalk was purchased in March and April of 2020. It's an online tool for logging books and tracking participation in reading challenges. I think Tina touched on something important when she mentioned that we're able to log on there and quickly look at the finishers. The benefit of using it is that it's really great for statistical purposes for us to see how many people have started and finished, and we're able to really quickly manipulate that data, which we use when we are contacting potential sponsors for coupons, deciding how we're going to allocate materials and all of that. So it's been really useful kind of from the back end for us. It was first used by branch staff in 2021, and it is relatively a new program for both branch and program department staff. So here is our outline for how we're going to handle this portion of the training. We will do a sneak peek at the Winter Reading Challenge for 23-24. Then we will go into logging into Beanstack, creating and redeeming offline readers, redeeming Beanstack finishers, creating drawings, and then using reports and insight. And then after that, we will look at the LibGuide and the SharePoint pages.
Okay, so I will stop sharing now so Marissa can share Beanstack.
Right. All right, so we have this sneak peek challenge live for staff accounts to take a look at. So here I am logged in and we are going to take a look at it. So this is what you would see if you were a Beanstack user and you had registered for the challenge and you want to start logging things. So you can go ahead and click on it. And here it is. We have the overview. Since I'm on here as an adult, it's telling me that I need to earn 10 virtual badges, and I can do that by listing a whole book, reading for 30 minutes, or completing activities, or some sort of combination of all three. Information about what sorts of things you win here, as well as a link to where you can go learn more about our coupons and coupon sponsors. Here are the badges. So for activity badges, I have already logged that I've read 30 minutes. You can continue doing that to earn all 10 badges, or you can practice some of these activities. Um, these are some of the ones that we're actually using in the challenge. So we have kind of um, emotional or social emotional intelligence related challenges. No, and I'm reading the questions as we go. Users will not see a challenge with the initials WRA. This is just for our training purposes. So there's where you would log reading your books, and then activities would be the reading for 30 minutes or one of the activities here. And then you can see your challenge badges. So because I've already registered, I have this one here. And then once I hit my 10 total virtual badges, the challenge will be completed. And then I would then be able to go into my branch and pick up my coupon sheet. Stop sharing and hand it back over to Tina.
All right, so now I'm going to show the administrative end of Beanstack and a couple of things that you would be interested in having a refresher on. So can everyone see my Beanstack screen?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So when you log into Beanstack with your branch administrator account, it takes you to the landing page here, and I have a dummy account that's set up like a branch account. And what I like to do once I log in is to right click on the reader experience and have it open in a separate tab so I can toggle back and forth just in case I'm working with the patron. Um, Before we get into offline readers, just a couple of handy things I wanted to remind everyone about. If you have any questions, they have tons of information and quick help on Beanstack. So you can click on the little blue tab here. If you're more of a visual learner, there's these Beanstack basics. They're really short videos that show key actions that you'll be using in Beanstack. And then also, let's slide my laptop over here. There's also the little question mark here, which is support. And I also wanted to point out that there is this Google Translate feature on both sides of Beanstack. So it's here on the staff side. There are tons of languages listed here. If you go to the reader's view and scroll down, it's there as well. So it is accessible to people who speak all of these languages, far more languages than we could ever translate a paper log into. So if you come across someone who speaks, a language that because right now we don't translate a lot of the winter reading or any of the winter reading at this point. So this is a great option for people who speak other languages. So now on to offline readers. So offline readers are any readers that are never, ever, 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 ever going to log into Beanstack. So they're always going to be our paper log users. So what we're all going to do is go into people, and it's always a good practice to come in and just search for a name to make sure they don't have an account. So I'm going to look for Ned Flanders because my test account belongs to The Simpsons. So figured to stick with that naming convention. So Ned Flanders does not have a Beanstack account. So I'm going to create an offline reader. So I can click add offline reader here or over here. So I'm going to type in Ned's information. We don't need his email address, his phone number. We do need a zip code. And then we choose his library. I'm going to say it's Herndon. Select his grade level. I'm going to select an adult since that's our test account or test challenge that we're using. And then once we've entered his information, we can see here that he's eligible for one challenge. And so we can go ahead and enroll him. We can click to complete the challenge. And then you get this pop up that says once you do it, it's irreversible. All badges will be completed. But note, any logging or reading of minutes is not going to happen. So we're not going to see if he read 10 books or 20 books or whatever it is. We're just going to see that he finished the challenge. So we're going to permanently complete the challenge. And now we can redeem all of his rewards. So that is how we do an offline reader. So next, if we had someone come in and they are they're finisher, they use Beanstack solely, we're going to come in and look up their name. So again, we're going with the Simpsons, so we're going to go with Apu. So we're going to search his name. We see that there's one reader, and then we're going to go to redeem incentives, which is the little present here. Once we click on it, we see that he's earned the 2023-2024 Winter Reading Adventure coupon sheet. Click on redeem, and then we can give him his coupon sheet. Now, sometimes we have patrons who start in Beanstack, and for whatever reason, they decide that they are now going to finish with a paper log. So, another sample here. So, we're going to look up Marge. Marge comes in with a paper log. And then we see, oh my goodness, she has a Beanstack account here. So we're going to look for Marge as a reader. So we have her here. And we're going to click on these 4 dots for challenge actions. And we're going to enroll her in the challenge. Since she has her paper log, we're going to mark it as complete. We get the pop-up box saying that we understand that the action is irreversible and that it's not going to log, it's just going to complete the challenge. So now she's completed the challenge, and we can go in and click on redeem incentives and redeem her prize and give her her coupon sheet. And that is what you do when someone has a Beanstack account, but then they come in with a paper log. Now, we have the Washington Wizards drawing. If you wanted to create a raffle for that, I'm sorry, Washington Wizards prize pack. If you wanted to create a drawing for that, you would go into challenges. And we see an old challenge here. So we're going to create a drawing. And we'll give it a name here. Call it Wizards Test. You can put in a little description of what it is. Select General Drawing. Then choose your library branch. And I'm going to choose Herndon because that's the one that I used for my test reader. Find the challenge that you are raffling the prize for. And of course, it's down here on the bottom. And I have 2 test ones, so I'll include both of them. Select your start date. We'll go with November 1st. And then your end date. And what you're basing the challenge on. It could be age or grade. So we'll go with age. And we'll say from 5 to 18. Or you could do grade and select babies and toddlers through adults. And then for this one, you can use any of these options if you're running like your own drawing for something, but we're going to do a specific earned badge. And then select the badge. And we want to do the completed badge because we want to do the raffle for finishers. It is not a weighted drawing. We want equal winners. There's no first, second, or third. And we'll say we want 3 winners. You can choose any number up to 100 and then select save. And now our raffle has been added. We can edit it, we can duplicate it, archive it, or delete it. But when you're ready to run your drawing, you just click on the name and select determine winners. And I think because there's only two, it might not do it. Yeah, there's not enough qualifiers for this one because there's only one registered person. But once you click determine winners, it'll show a list of winners. I'll show you the Richard Byrd Nationals drawing so you can see what it looks like. So it'll come up with a list of qualified readers, and then you can do determine winners, and then it selects them for you. And then if the says something's wrong with it, you can rerun it, you can export the qualifiers, all kinds of neat stuff. So we'll go back. And next, we're going to take a quick look at the insights. So insights is just like an overview, a dashboard of any of the challenges. You can set a date range, show readers overall or in specific challenges. You can select a challenge. So we could do 1,000 books before kindergarten. Can select age, grade level, specific library, and then update insights, and it'll show you the information for that challenge. And this is just for the week here, but you can change that date. If you want to drill down a little deeper, you can go into reports. And the first thing you see here is my reports. So you can favorite reports that you use frequently. So this one, I selected branch participation totals, but you can do reports for activities, badges. I don't think you do book reviews. You can do it for branches, demographics, groups. That's like if there's a different group, like groups that are participating together, say like a daycare, you can do statistics on that, logging, participation, registration, or the drawings. So to mark a favorite, so let's say we'll go to logging. Nah, we'll go to branches. And we want to see reader participation by challenge and branch. You just click on the little star to add it to your favorites. If you want to look at it, you just click on it, select the challenge. So we'll do our test, click on Herndon, and this one doesn't have anyone. Or you can go back in time, or 1,000 books is ongoing. And you can see by branch how many readers are enrolled in the challenge. You can see what they logged, all kinds of cool information. And now I'm gonna, before I turn it over to Marissa, does anyone have any Beamstack questions?
I see some in the chat. Mary's asking, why do we need zip code?
I think that's a Beamstack requirement. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, and I think it's, even though we do have the branches where people are registered, it's also helpful to see which communities that we're serving. We can look at it that way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like, Doug would be able to find information that way.
Deb asks, to be included in any raffle, everyone has to have an email entered. I'm trying to think if we've pulled raffle winners before that just had a phone number.
Yeah, I don't think they have to have an email address as long as they've completed the the badge. They're entered into the raffle. It's just a matter of how you're going to communicate with them. So that's where if you're doing offline readers, even though it's not a required field, if you're going to be running a raffle, you might want to ask them if they want to share their phone number or their email address for the raffle.
Mary asks if there's a way to rerun a weekly raffle, but exclude folks who have won in the past. That's a good question. The way that we've done the raffles thus far is we wait until a certain point in the challenge and run it once. So I'm not sure about that capability.
Yeah, I haven't done a weekly challenge, so I'm not 100% sure how that would work.
Yeah, Deb said they have to have either a phone or email to win, though. I don't know what the other option would be for contacting them, other than hoping they show up at the library to pick it up. Mailing address, I guess, potentially. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's the one of those things you weigh. It's like if you want to win a prize, we have to have a way to contact you. So it's like if they don't share it, I guess you could just rerun it and give the prize to someone else.
Any other Beanstack questions? All right.
Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing so that Marissa can share and talk a little bit about SharePoint and the LibGuide.
All right, so I'm going to start with the LibGuide, and this is all of the public-facing information that we'll have about Winter Reading Adventure. So this is the landing page right here. It has the dates of our challenge. It has some important information here about when participants can pre-register, which is November 27th. We have a link to Beanstack for people to be able to pre-register. Also, we let people know that if they don't want to register on Beanstack, they can pick up paper logs at branches starting on December 1st. We have some information about the breakdown of the badge goals and the reading minutes for each session, information about prizes, and another link to creating a Beanstack account. Um, I wanted to show you the thank you sponsors page. So this is where we have all of the logos of our sponsors. And if you click this link here, it takes you to that page I showed earlier in the presentation that lists exactly what all of the coupons are and what the terms are. So that's helpful for customers to be able to see that. The other thing I wanted to flag about this page is I know that the community has lots of questions about Beanstack. I saw that in some of the emails I was getting over the summer. So this is a really great resource to be able to link people to, maybe if you're getting emails or communicating that way, or showing them how to access that if they are tech savvy. But it has a lot of frequently asked questions about Beanstack here, as well as an email address they can reach out to directly if they need further assistance. There's also this All About Beanstack tab on the page that kind of goes into more depth about some of these things. So this is a really great tool or an area, a resource for people to check out. So that is the public facing side. I will now show you the SharePoint page. So this is for staff. So similar to what I just showed you on the LibGuide page, we also have all about Beanstack here. These videos that are linked in the right-hand column are really helpful for some of the tasks that you'll be doing a lot with Beanstack. So I recommend checking those out if you're new to Beanstack. We have the offline reader data entry sheet that you're able to print from here. This general help page for Beanstack is helpful as well because you can go there and search for specific questions. This is right here, this Beanstack staff roles shows you what you have access to depending on what your account is. So, and then as well as information about how to log into Beanstack, so how that's structured for everyone. This is information that's the same for youth and adults. And here we have all of the documents that I showed when we were going through the materials. So there's the poster, there's the staff information sheet, there's the flyer, and then we have the reading logs for youth, so the birth through 6th grade, as well as the teens. We have recommended author lists in case those would be useful, and then the adult paper reading logs. So that is the SharePoint page.
And I wanted to add, Marissa, on the Live Guide page and the All About Beanstack, there are videos that the public can view on how to do different things within Beanstack. And if you're helping someone and you can let them know that once they get home, if they have more questions, they could check that out. Because sometimes I know I'm a visual learner, and by the time I get home, if someone's shown me something, I'd like to go back and look at it again. And those videos there are really handy, or even to like refresh yourself on the reader side of Beanstack. Those are great resources. Yep, I see Anne is typing. Oh, she's got some diehard reading challenges families. Yay! And we're hoping in the future to be able to offer some more, like maybe not it as heavy loaded reading challenges, just like some challenges that are on Beanstack that people can do for fun throughout the year. I know that's always been our plan, but we haven't really had a chance to get around to it yet. Um, yeah, so please, please, please share with your staff all of these resources and let customers know that we do have paper logs. They are not going away. It was really weird to see on some of the surveys for summer reading that some people thought that we did not have paper logs. They are not going away. They're here to stay. See that Elizabeth and Emily are typing. So pre-registration is the 27th. I misspoke when I said the 28th. And that just means they can go in and sign up for the challenge. They can't log anything until December 1st.
Emily's typing a question. If anybody would prefer to ask their question, you can raise your hand and we'll call on you too.
Oh, yeah, Emily. There are a couple of like beanstack challenges out there that they're kind of similar to A Thousand Books Before Kindergarten. So I think that there's, like you said, there's one for adults. Um, and BSTEC has lots of just really fun challenges like a genre challenge, Master of Minutes. So those are things that we really want to get into at some point. But as we're learning Beanstack, we're just slowly sticking our foot into that. Um, I know that there's 100 books teens should read before college challenge. So there's lots of cool stuff out there, and hopefully we'll be able to expand into that in the future. All right, do we have any other questions? Well, if not, you get a few minutes back in your day. Thank you so much for attending. And if you or your staff have any questions about the challenge, please check out our SharePoint page or the LibGuide. And if you don't find your answer there, feel free to reach out to me, Marissa, or Renee. Oh, Emily's typing. So I'm not going to wrap it up yet. Oh, thank you, Emily. So, thank you all so much and have a wonderful day. And I hope that winter reading is very smooth and chill for all of you. It's usually our quiet challenge, which is awesome. It's pretty simple because it's basically the same format as summer reading now. Age groups are the same. And it's awesome because we have the one coupon sheet. So, hopefully, it won't be too complicated. Oh, I didn't even mean that,
I
Deb,
love
but
the
that was
pun.
awesome. Oh, awesome. Well, you all have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you all so much.
I am going to stop recording.